Hello, welcome to another instalment of Quality Conversations with my dear friend Sharon Radon from Harbour Jetty here in the beautiful Port Albert. Hello.
Hi, welcome. It's so lovely to see you again. We've been on a really long journey since I've met you.
We really have. I just hear and I sit with pride, and I knew I'd be coming to a special Victorian town, but also just experiencing a special business, having met you and seeing you from afar and up close and what you've been able to achieve. So firstly, I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
For building this beautiful business and really helping as a quintessential destination ambassador, putting Port Albert on the map for all of us. Now, tell us about Port Albert.
Port Albert is the oldest town in Gippsland, the oldest port in Gippsland, established in 1842. I hope I got that correct, so I'll never live that down. One of the towns that had quite a long history, very popular in the gold mining eras. Then when overland transport came in, the port wasn't quite as necessary or popular anymore. Then we had another boom during the sharking industry. And at the moment, Port Albert probably best known for recreational fishing. It's an absolutely gorgeous town, but where it's really special is it hasn't been overly commercialised or overly developed. So people come here to rest, relax, enjoy being so close to the water. We're very close to some wonderful outdoor areas to explore, such as Tarrawonga National Park, the beautiful 90 Mile Beach out at Woodside. Then we also have, just over the border in South Gippsland, we have the lovely Long Jetty at Welshpool and also Agnes Falls, which is the largest single-span waterfalls in Victoria.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely fantastic. So we are in a beautiful, unique little space.
Sharon, a second congratulations is that this is your 5th year in business. You started in 2019 and we didn't meet, I guess, when we did our first pilot of a tourism boot camp.
Yeah.
You were just new in your business and
Absolutely.
I mean, you're just thriving. Tell me about that time of starting a hosted accommodation business. What do you wish that someone had told you, or what's been the biggest surprise on the journey 5 years in?
I think for me the biggest surprise was how much I love doing it actually, how passionate I am, because I've always loved looking after people, loved introducing them to try new things, to do things. I'm a very caring person by nature, but I didn't realise how passionate I become, probably even more so year by year, because you feed off that enthusiasm of people that come and they're so appreciative. They're just so thankful that we welcome them onto our property that it just encourages me to keep going. So, yeah, that one that really took me by surprise, that I've become even more passionate year by year about what I do, and it enables me to refine what I do, listening to feedback from people, what they're looking for, what they love. It reinforces what I'm doing, that I'm in the right profession and that I'm good at what I do.
Really are very good at what you do, and your enthusiasm is contagious, because I actually don't want to leave and definitely want to come back. Well, now, you had experience in business when you started your journey with Harbour Jetty B&B in a hospitality sense. Now, going through the process, and as we talk about, you were introduced, and how wonderful at the beginning, through the quality tourism framework and going through the accreditation process. Now, as someone that had already had that business background, could you talk to us about how you found that process and how that benefited you along your journey of what you've been able to grow and keep growing and innovating with your beautiful 3 studios here?
I have a very strong background in hospitality. I've worked in the food industry from back in the day when I was going to uni. I worked at my Chadstone at their in-house cafeteria called the Strawberry Room, which no longer exists. That's how long ago that was. So I've always had some type of work in hospitality. Then we had a cafe restaurant down here. Back in the day then, the credit card processing machine was the machine, the card, the paper, and you swipe.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've really noticed is how much times have changed in regard to the technology and the information out there, how important it is to be active in social media, and also how if you join groups and you have affiliations, it doesn't matter how long you've been in business because you're open straight away for people to book, people to find you. I think also for me the important thing was following through the accreditation process, because being in a cafe and a restaurant, it's a whole different ballgame when you're in hospitality, is in accommodation as well. It's a lot more dealing with people for a longer period of time. So I'm looking after them with food as well as the accommodation. They're coming into my home. There's a lot more area to cover. And what's interesting is I remember starting the accreditation process and putting it on the back burner, thinking, wow, this is way too hard. How do I find time to work in my business and do that? And then the boot camp came along and oh my goodness, that was a whole game changer. It enabled me to complete the accreditation, having that help, the guidance, the encouragement, and amazing organisers. Thank you so much.
Stop it. That wasn't where we were leading. But thank you. That's great that through the support you were able to accelerate.
Yeah. And some things I've learnt from that too, how important it is to join your local tourism boards, your local organisations, and there's so much support and help out there. Be open to networking and working with others, taking the knowledge that you learn and applying it to your own business. And not everything will be relevant. Everyone's individual in what they do, but there's just so much information out there to help and share and learn and to help grow.
And to help grow. Your continual learning journey, and I've seen you now, proud moment in time, submitting for a tourism award. You came away as a finalist and coming away with the silver at the time. Tell me about this pathway and the future for you. Like, what's next?
We've been growing over the past few years with the accommodation. We've been taking advice on board. So since we've been operating, we've added the Tesla EV chargers on site. Staying abreast of technology has been really important. We've also introduced a private charter boat for taking our guests out for eco tours as well as fishing. We're looking into the e-bikes as well for guests to be able to broaden the range of activities that they can do around here. I think for us, what next is continually refining what we do. Yeah. So there are two parts to what we do. One is always maintaining our high standards. So we've slotted in time for repainting, redecorating, staying on top of things. It's quite a harsh environment here by the water. So looking after everything and keeping it pristine takes quite a bit of time. Managing the business, but also collaborating with others. We've been absolutely blessed to have had Paul Worsling from iFish come and stay with the team for a couple of days. So we will be featured on national TV, Channel 10, coming up throughout the year on how fantastic fishing is at Port Albert, but also some segments on how wonderful our accommodation is. So working with others, reaching out, collaborating, that's probably the way that we're heading now, turning our eye. I think we've perfected what we do with the rooms, the method, the policies, procedures, all thanks to the boot camp. We've been able to work on that. So now we're just looking at polishing everything off.
Oh, and what I love about that, you have introduced a complimentary experience with your chartered, and that boat is not your average charter boat. This is next level. But what I love, what you had shared earlier, is that is becoming really an experience unto itself, that it can come with the accommodation, but you're also offering this additional tour operation now to help people get out and enjoy the water and the fishing experiences that this beautiful, quaint town has to offer. Upwards and upwards. It's not onwards and upwards. You just keep going, and it's just been wonderful to see you grow from when we first met to think 5 years have passed and just going from strength to strength. And what advice, anybody that has, I'm not sure about that, or I don't have the time, what advice would you give to a business either starting out or an established business that hasn't really considered becoming a quality tourism business with our VTIC program, what advice would you give?
I think it's incredibly important because people like to know that they're booking something with a certain standard, and they like to know what they're getting. Particularly this day and age, there's so many scams out there. We hear all the time about people who've booked accommodation and it doesn't exist, or it's not what it's supposed to be. So when you go for a business that's gone through the quality insurance, you have that peace of mind that you know what you're getting, that you're going to be looked after, that everything's the way it's supposed to be. And I think it gives you that sense of pride as well. And for me, it's been very empowering as well to have done that, because it gives me the confidence to know that I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm good at what I do, and it's also given me the tool to go when I'm not too sure about something, I know where to go and find out. I know where the answer is. And it just helped me to stay on top of my game in a highly competitive market and make sure that I can be one of the best that we can be.
Oh, you're the best. Quality high five. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. And here's to all your success. Congratulations for everything you've done and everything you are going to do.
Thank you so much. There's one thing that I'd like to say that I've always remembered, and I've taken it away from when listening to you talk about how important a customer-centric approach is. And it is so true. Everything that we do here, we step back and we think about, is that what I would want if I was staying here? And we've always applied that, so thank you.
Oh, and it's sprinkled everywhere. It's sprinkled everywhere. Love it. You heard it here first. Thank you, Sharon. And keep listening and watching for more inspiring quality conversations like Sharon.